هاتوا من هون هاتوا من هون هاتوا من هون أسامة معاكم أسامة
AIDS distribution center. But before, I want to tell that the evacuation orders and everything, because even the cellular connection, it was cut, just like the internet connection. It was getting better during the past 2 days, before even the internet connection got back. But even before that, we were not able to know about the family members, about the relatives, about the friends, who is evacuating to where, who's stuck where, who's injured, who's etc. And talking about injured people, we found out after like 2 days of his injury that my cousin was injured in the AIDS distribution center, the GHF AIDS distribution center in Neit Sarim, one of the only three distribution centers serving 2.2 million people, starving to 50% of them are children. And I'm going to talk more about the GHF and about the AIDS distribution center. But before, I want to tell that, do you hear this? Maybe because of the microphone you hear it lower, but the Israeli army is still bombing everywhere. And saying everywhere, I mean it. The Mawasi area, inside the sea for the people fishing, because there's no protein, there's no food, so they're just fishing for the family. In the streets, near to in the schools, displacement shelters, in the near to the hospitals, and of course the evacuation areas are now just squeezing the population of Gaza more and more. The Israeli army is advancing from the east to the west and the whole areas of Gaza Strip, from the north to the south and from the south to the north. So right now, at this moment, we are only living in the coastal area in the middle of Gaza Strip. It's so crowded here, and yet the Israeli army is still bombing. Rafah is gone. The north, and I mean by the north as a government, I mean Jabalia, Beit Lahiya and Beit Hanun are gone. The east, which is east of Jabalia, Tufah Neprud, Shajain Neprud, then Zaytun Neprud, then going to Lebrej, Maghazi, refugee camps, east to Deir al-Balah, east Khan Yunis, and in Khan Yunis particularly, actually the evacuation orders reached even Nasser Hospital, which is in the middle of the west of Khan Yunis, and of course all of Rafah. So as you can imagine, we're just being squeezed in the middle. And this actually means that we are not able also to produce food, because the agricultural areas in Gaza Strip are far north, far south, and the eastern areas. Subhanallah. Just the areas that the Israeli army is advancing and occupying right now in this moment. So the only way to produce food, to plant our food, is the small yards in front of our tents, our backyards, for the people who are still able to live in their homes, yani. And that's it. So we have no food entering through the official borders. Nothing is airdropped and nothing is reaching via sea. And now we are not even producing food in factories or planting our food. So the starvation is still hitting harder and harder every day, especially that we are consuming our resources, the food we stored, and even the people we used to ask for help, they also consume their resources. So no food. People are literally surviving over one meal, and this one meal, I swear, this one meal is coming from the soup kitchens, and it's only literally water with some rice and flavor. Okay, that's it. Maggi or any other flavors. So this is the situation now. Getting back now to this, the video is getting longer. I apologize. Okay, guys, I've been like silent for maybe 10 days. Now you can just give me time talking about this JHF distribution points, food distribution points, I was silent a little bit and I wanted just to know everything about it. I was telling you from the beginning that this cannot be instead of the official INGOs, UNRWA, WFP distribution centers, because those group of international organizations took decades of working on conflict zones and wars and with disaster zones and population to learn, to know how to distribute food, what portions, what timing, when and why and how and everything. But now this organization, this suspicious foundation, an Israeli American foundation with zero experience in humanitarian work, food distribution, dealing with the whole forced famine that now my people is dealing with because of the Israeli army, because of Israel's systematic annihilation of our people, of the Palestinian people, like by any way, by any mean, just kill more and more Palestinians. So the INGOs in this phase of our situation cannot be exchangeable. Not now, not by this way, because in the ceasefire, in the temporary ceasefire, like the 2 months ceasefire, about 4 to 500 distribution centers were opened all over Gaza Strip by the INGOs, UNRWA, that the Israeli army, that Israel now is trying to just shut down and stop and cut all of their funds. And the WFP, of course, they were opening all of these centers all over Gaza Strip. Not only this, the distribution was frequent, reaching everyone, was fair, and enough. Now, I'm talking about enough, nothing is enough. Can you imagine that all the people who were there described it at the same, like this way? It's like a cage, and then the GHF opened this cage for the hundreds of thousands of starving people only in 3 points. Normally they don't work together on the same day. All of them are in the south, none is in the north. And then putting in front of them like 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 maximum food parcels, food boxes that are only enough for like 4, 5, 6 people for 4 days or 5 days, less than a week. Then people enter this cage, fight over food, and got shot. I have a cousin who had 2 shrapnels, 3 shrapnels, one in the back, one in the chest, and one behind his ear, because of quadcopter bombing over them. Starving people, that's so, I don't know, that's disgusting. Opening the cage for starving people and then bombing them while starving and watching this. This whole thing, the GHF thing, the suspicious thing, is definitely still working because of 3 things. The first thing, keep killing and humiliating Palestinians. How? Make them fight over food, because food is not enough. Make them starve to death because they're not able to reach food after all of their trials. And of course, kill them while coming to get the limited food put there. We're talking about more than 650 people. About 700 people got killed only in the distribution centers by the GHF in 20 days, between 14 to 20 days of working. 2,000 are injured because of heavy shooting, tank shooting, and heavy weapons, and of course the quadcopters. And then when it's out loud and like a trend, or the media is talking about it more, the U.S. government, the U.S. administration says that we know enough about all of these reports talking about the Israeli army shooting the Palestinians, going for aid, and then the IOF opens an investigation again for like the 100th times. okay, for a crime that they commit. Anyways, يعني of course يعني we have a saying in Arabic. We say لمين نشكي والقاضي غريمك, something like this. Like, of course they will not be fair. They are the enemy. They are the occupying force. Definitely they will not be fair. Anyways, so this is about the GHF. This is the first reason. The second reason, after keep humiliating Palestinians, is that many people from the INGOs, some even local NGOs and Western media are talking seriously about this American-Israeli foundation to be an intelligence entity in Gaza Strip now, collecting information about people, about what is happening in the ground and the real situation here in Gaza. And the third reason is to have time, because whenever any pressure is made over Israel or over the US to solve the thing, to deal with this disaster that they committed, they will say that okay, we're trying, the JHF is still working, we're learning from our lessons, we're trying to do that, we're مش عارف شو. So yeah, having time, and then using the time to occupy Gaza for a long term, kill more people, displace more people, and of course cause more and more destruction. Besides the psychological warfare, of course, making people lose hope in any change or any life after all of this death. So yeah, this is what is happening now. I'm so sorry for this long video. Oh my god, it's like 12 minutes so far. I'm sorry, but this is the last thing. Okay, the last thing is that now you're hearing even less and less from Gaza because of the Israeli attack on Iran, then Iran trying to fight back. And of course the media is not telling you this, but Israel, not surprisingly, started the war. Of course the media is not telling you this, but Israel is claiming that it is defending itself. Against what? Guys, against what? They are literally creating enemies to justify their existence. They're trying to create enemies, any enemies, to convince the people around the world that, oh my god, the Jewish people is targeted. Israel is the most dangerous place for Jewish people around the world. Guys, I know that you know this. I mean, the people following this video from inside Israel. But let me say it again. Wallah, you will never be safe in an occupying place that keeps launching attacks on other governments and other countries, because they want to start a war for their political interests and to justify their existence as an occupying power. Nothing of Israel is legal, not even the existence itself. Israel is an occupation. It keeps targeting people, innocents. It keeps killing Palestinians, annihilating the Palestinian land and coast, and then taking over the lands and building more settlements. And now, because it's an expansion idea, mentality, I mean the Zionist cause itself, they are attacking more and more people to make sure that no one is gonna defend a land when they attack this land. So I know you don't need me to know this. I know that you may be learn about this or read about this anywhere on the planet, on any page, but I am from Gaza. I see everything, I hear everything, I know, I learn, I experience, I read, I hear people, I hear all the people outside, inside, in the whole Arab nations, from people around the world, internationals, nationals, Palestinians, Ghazawi, people from Dafa, everywhere, people from inside the occupied lands, Palestinian lands in 1948, which you call Israel now. Nothing in Israel is legal. Hi people,